When you think of some of the hardest bars and some of the most hard-hitting lyrics within Flatbush Zombies and everything that they produce, then I hope you think of Dimitri Sims. If you guys don't know who he is already, then welcome to this video. Let's get started on the ultimate fan guide to Michi Darko. So Dimitri Sims is a vocalist, performer, and creative designer for legendary Brooklyn hip-hop trio Flatbush Zombies. He was born on December 27th, 1990, and not only is Meech the emotional core of Flatbush Zombies, but he is also an exceptional lyricist and one of the most compelling performers in all of hip-hop. Michi Darko is ultimately impossible to miss. If you know Flatbush Zombies, then you know Meech. Meech's skinny jeans, dope dreads, and classic eye back roll are an image so charismatic that it's synonymous to the Flatbush Zombies collective in the eyes of all but the most dedicated fans. Meech is so distinctive in today's music scene because of how exceedingly genuine he is in his art and his voice. This relatability and honesty in his music is what makes Meech a fan favorite. He's usually playing the primary role in any group interview and control a crowd like it's its own hand. Duality is a central theme in Michi Darko's music. Meech seeks to be a balancing force, providing a countertext of lows to balance the highs so often heard in rap. Mental health has always been a huge part of his message. Meech voices the feelings of sadness, anger, frustration, depression, self-doubt, and aggression that we all feel, but that you won't hear much in rap, especially when Meech began plying his trade in early 2010s. In an interview with Complex, Meech goes a little bit more in depth with this theology, and he states, "We reawaken ourselves. That's what it meant to us when it came down to the decision. Yo, we are zombies. We are not saying we don't have a pulse. I bleed blood. Just understand that, when you say that when you die, your life flashes before your eyes, you see everything. You learn the grand answer to the biggest question in the world. Pretty much, we are saying that we have been through that. Second phase. We are here now. We are zombies. That other life is done. I'm aware of what happened then. This is a new conscious." Going into his Flatbush origins a little bit more, Flatbush Zombies' roots go deep, and Michi Darko is the thread that joins them together. The trio's foundations were laid all the way back in 1994 when Meech and Eric Elliott met through the Jamaican community in Flatbush, New York. They were both 4 years old at the time, and Michi Darko then met the final member of their trio, Zombie Juice, in middle school and later introduced him to him and Eric. The three quickly became friends, bonding over music, Dragon Ball Z, and pro wrestling. And in high school, Meech and Eric got jobs at a local shoe store and started to grow into their group hustle. This job gave Meech an opportunity to make good money by trapping, not drugs, but sneakers. Meech began slipping shoes from the store to sell directly on the streets, just as long as they weren't Jordans. Jordans went straight into Meech's personal collection. Along with Zombie Juice, Meech dropped out of high school after his sophomore year. It wasn't a calculated decision. School had just never been a big part of their lives, and then one day they stopped going. A couple years later, Juice went on a boredom-inspired sober stint and started writing down rhymes for beats Eric had been making for years. Following Juice's lead, Meech began also writing his rhymes while starting to more seriously apply himself to rapping. Meech and Juice had long supported Eric's musical ambitions and had freestyled over his beats countless times, but this decision to take it to the next level would prove to be a pivotal moment for their lives. From there, the three friends began to record music to have a soundtrack for them and their friends to smoke to, but it would still be a couple years later before they really started pushing music out there. In his 2018 AMA on Reddit, Michi Darko goes on to explain that music was the first thing I ever felt heal me. First thing I fell in love with. Pain encouraged me to make music, wanting to vent, wanting to feel better really. And in case you were wondering, Meech's favorite weed strain is wedding cake, and his favorite comic books are the 1984 Marvel Superhero Secret Wars series. To dive into Meech's role in Flatbush Zombies a little bit more, Eric is the brain and Juice is the ego of Flatbush Zombies, then Michi Darko is the heart. For many fans, his face is inseparable from their brand and image. In their music, interviews, and performances, Meech's energy is definitely omnipresent. Meech can control a crowd like its own hand and brings an infectious punk rock type scene to Flatbush Zombies live performances. He orchestrates mosh pits like a symphonic conductor and legendary surfs and moshes with the audience at every show. Out of everyone in Flatbush Zombies, Meech is also the most spiritual of the zombies, often mentioning his own spiritual journey when discussing the roles psychedelics have played in his life. Meech loves getting into abstract conversations and philosophy, but probably not the philosophy you come across in school. Michi Darko has perhaps the most unique unique and distinctive voice in all of hip-hop. No one sounds like Meech, and if they tried, they probably permanently damage their voice. You can definitely hear some Biggie, Rick James, and Old Dirty Bastard in his style, but unlike most rappers, Meech really has no direct vocal comparison. Meech loves infusing his bars with dark content, occasional humor, and a lot of emotion. Meech's presence in Flatbush Zombie's music has a balancing effect. When Zombie Juice projects outward, Meech draws you inward. When Eric goes positive and uplifting, Meech goes dark and fatalistic. Psychedelics and cannabis contribute a good deal of inspiration for Meech's music and lyrical style, especially earlier in his career. But the role that drugs play in his music is often overstated. We say brilliant things all the time, and people just want to hear about a beautiful metaphor about how I rolled up this weed good. When I talk about where I came from or the struggles I dealt with, people just overlook that. They don't care about that. If you listen to our music, I talk about it all the time. People just only want to talk about weed, psychedelics, and crazy stuff. People never really understand that we came from the ghetto. We came from a struggle. It's not all fine and dandy and happy. So along with expressing his fascination for horror and other twisted/unorthodox concepts, Meech is also regularly exploring issues and themes like mental illness in his music, sharing his experiences with depression and suicide in an effort to help listeners navigate their own personal struggles with the knowledge that they aren't alone in their fight. In various interviews, Meechy Darko has listed a lot of artists as his major influences, and some of them include Biggie, Too Short, Ghostface Killah, Wu-Tang, Jimi Hendrix, Grateful Dead, Tupac, and Eminem. And when it comes to the creative arts that have really influenced his audio visuals, Meechy Darko has included movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, Evil Dead, Friday the 13th, and Bully as some of the biggest influences on his vision. So next time you really start to look at the Flatbush Zombies collective, you'll start to see more of Meechy Darko, and hopefully you'll take more notice of the equilibrium that the three have managed to create for this group. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what your favorite Meechy Darko verse is, and let me know, were you guys already into Flatbush, or did this video convince you to give them a try? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.